Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Procrastinate with Books. In today's episode 2 of Book to Screen Adaptations, we will be discussing few really good books that have been adapted into an online TV series. And not necessarily TV series, but just an online OTT or something kind of a series that you can binge watch, sit together, and have a wonderful, blastful time. So, without any further ado, let's quickly jump in. On number one, I have Good Omens, which is a Neil Gaiman book, also been adapted to a Amazon Prime series, which has been recently launched with its season 2 online as well. So you can check either of them out. Talking about the story in here, it's about the end of the world. Now, like so many fanatics talking about the end of the world almost from the time since the earth was actually cultivated, it is needless to say that a lot of people have now become skeptical whether the world would actually end or not. But according to this book and the prophecies of a special someone, Agnes Witch, she decided that the world would be ending on this particular Saturday that's coming forward. So, people from the armies of gods and devils, all the angels and demons, are actually cultivating their armies together for the final fight and to see who actually prevails in this particular war and whether the earth will actually survive or it will collapse to its doom. On second number, I have You by Caroline Kepnes, which is an amazing thriller book and it has been adapted into several languages and also into an online series with different seasons. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer that the first two seasons of the online series are still better. However, I don't feel the same about the following seasons. I felt things went a little downhill from there in the online series. However, the book is really amazing, and if you want to check it, I think it would be wonderful for the thriller fans of people who actually enjoy reading psychological thrillers and the obsessive nature of human beings. The book actually has different parts and each parts correlate to a particular online season, though you will start to see significant differences from the book to the series online adaptation in book 3 and book 4 especially. However, the first two are pretty much close to the online series, and even the online series is quite obsessive. Once you start watching it, it's very difficult to stop. The whole series is revolving around a character, Joe, who has this obsessive nature of getting too attached to a female and then trying to get hold of everything and anything she does, whatever they are doing in their own life. She would like to have a complete control over it, of how things should go in their life, and just an obsessive decision making control freak. It's the whole thing about him. Next up, I have the Game of Thrones, which is an epic fantasy series, also been adapted into an online series. And though a lot of you might have already watched it, just giving a quick disclaimer, it's an adult fantasy series and it's not meant for children or teens to be looked at. So, just a quick disclaimer out there. However, the books and the series both have a very intriguing plot, though the characters are slightly differentiated in both the sections of books versus the screen adaptations. The story is conveyed in a very well format, and the book is still being written to its final part. I think the part 7 is yet to come out. However, the series has been concluded on their own take and version as per the screenwriters depict, and the final season of the series is quite controversial. I have my own opinions reserved around it, how things should have gone, but nevertheless it has been concluded. So if you want, you can actually instead watch the series here in this case, because the books are a lengthy piece of chunks, and since the final part is not yet out there, I don't really want to put you out there for a misery towards a cliffhanger ending. So in this case, I would suggest you to watch the series. My next recommendation for you is the Heartstopper series, which is a wonderful graphic novel, and it earlier had just 4 parts and they are now comprised into an online series as well, so you can go check that out. I've talked about the series in quite a little detail, so I'll click that video and link it up in the eye for you guys to check out. The story here is about two high school guys who are going to school, and one of them really develops a feeling for the other, and then the things just intertwined from there. It's basically high school drama in the LGBTQ category. So if you are looking for something around the YA category in the contemporary romance section with a graphic novel influence into it, and you want to watch it online on the series as well, I think this would be the trope for you. Next up, I have Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, which has now been adapted into an amazing online series, and it has carried out the whole suspense and thriller vibe quite well in there. This book is basically a thriller mystery with suspense and crime vibes to it, and it is available in various formats for you to check in. There has been a recent launch of the audiobook, and I tried that as well. It is amazing. Talking about the story in here, our main protagonist is just out of the psych hospital recently and has got assigned a new case that she'll be working on, but working on that case is proving to be quite difficult for her, because to actually solve this particular case that's on her hands right now, she has to go back home and solve the unsolved mystery of the pre-teenage murder that had happened back then, and the case was unsolved. And so she has a quite brief understanding that if she solved that case, she would be able to solve this case, and she would also be able to survive her homecoming back. And that, my friends, were my favorite top 5 online books to screen adaptations in the series category. I will catch up with you next time with a new episode and a new concept on the books to screen adaptations. Until then, keep your coffee strong and your TBRs long. Goodbye.